So today we have to discuss about motivation, and then after that we have to start for the block two. So it is unit 7 of block 2 interpersonal process and motivation. Motivation is the process of inducing persons to experience needs for certain desired behavior so that the organizational efficiency is achieved. Because to do the good job, motivation is a back end work is like this. So motivation is the product of anticipated values from an action and an perceived probability that these values will be achieved by the action. Another definition is motivation causes goal-directed behavior. Feeling of a need by a person causes him to behave in such a way that he tries to satisfy himself so that he does not feel the lack of that particular thing. So another concept is motivation is to form of 5 human needs. That is as per the Maslow, as you know, that is a hierarchical order. Physiological, then your safety, security, social, then self-esteem and self-actualizations. So this is the concept based on the assumption of the internal motivations. So this is some of your different definition of the motivations. Now, everyone is an organization needs to be motivated. It may be in the manager level, in the supervisory level, any staffs, workers, frontliners, everybody, all the sub, everybody should have in the that type of motivation, any type sort of motivation is required so that they can perform their work. So motivation is a higher productivity go together. Managers are primarily function to see the persons under them work most efficiently. This is the primary thing. First things you have to see, you should be more efficient, productive. Then after that, should be a closer touch with the workers. They can understand their problems better and also know their needs. If necessary, they can take the advice to the personal and industrial psychologist of any consultant or any other consultant. If suppose his performance is not as per the desired level, that case it may require some of the counseling is may required. You can hire the psychologist for them. What is the reason behind? So type of motivation, it is an incentive type motivation is related to the job in his doing, what he is actually the performing the job as per the norms and as per the his target fulfilling or not. And extrinsic motivation is to external to the job of the task. For example, some of the you can give some of the award financial incentives may require to motivate teams to job well, and production may motivate the workers. So so motivation as a prime requirement for any employees to do the work efficiently, and as well as happiness. Main thing is the happiness and willingness are coming in between. Determinant of the motivation. Now we have to see what are the determinants of the motivation. Individuals need to know what can motivate the employees. So that is one of the things. Organizational components are organizational structure, technological system, then physical facilities which constitute internal environment of an organization. That is the effect of motivations. So some of the components are in the organizational point of view. The external and exogenous variables are the worker's life outside the factory is also an important factor which is affecting the motivation or the willingness of the to work inside the factory workers. I see actually here the aspect is this 8 hours duty is fixed. He has to as per the assigned jobs you can do it. Apart from that, after the office hours or maybe in the holidays, workers need some of the different type of motivations. May go for outing, may for picnic, or officially can arrange some of the things. So that the inside the mind, okay, I am also a part and parcel of this company, belongingness of this particular this organizations are to be bring up in the mind. So this is also required in some sort of the variables. So characteristics of the motivations. The individuals differ in their motivations. Motivation is highly situational. Uh, Motivation change. These are all other characteristics basically. Motivation is expressed differently. Motivation is complex. So different situation and different type of motivation is required. And this is some of the characteristics that are listed here. Specific actions to motivate others. Managerial action in general can take four forms. Provide more of the value rewards to the more persons. Change the values of the persons towards the rewards which are available. If some within the framework of the company organization, some already some set it listed awards are there that can be distributed to the required persons, or it may add on some of the new things or as in terms of rewards. So improve the person's perception of the behavior reward linkages. So some of the perceptions also, yes, if I do these things, I will get this award or some sort of appreciations. So somewhere some linkages should be there. If you do this, you will get it. So improve the reality of the behavioral reward linkages. Reality is really in time they should be awarded or recognized or some sort of appreciation letters in terms of letters or in terms of cash award. So that has to be there, and it should be really that improvement is to be there. Motivation of the workers. The top managers of a company must possess a high degree, high need for the power. That is a concern of the influencing the people. Manager concerned with the developing the friendly relationships. Managers must delegate authority through the influences of the and through the persuasions. So, a good manager should reward the workers for their good performance. As I said earlier, they should be awarded based on this performance. So, effective managers, in their efforts to influence subordinates to get work done, express their strong power needs in democratic people-oriented ways. So this is some sort of the, in case of the motivation of the workers, so these things have to be followed. Motivates and the managerial behavior. Motives and the managerial behaviors. So the top managers of a company must possess a high concern for influencing the people and commensurate the authority. However, this need must be disciplined and controlled so that it is directed towards the benefit of the institutions as a whole and not toward the manager's personal benefit. So whatever the things that there should be a control, not for the manager's benefits, should be an overall benefits. Moreover, the top managers need for power out to be greater than his or her need for being liked by people. So top managers' interventions is also needed, and their power has to be they can do it better and they can fulfill their need also. So now block 3 I can start where it is your interpersonal and group discussion. We have to start this things where the unit number 8, 9, 10 group dynamics. We are now talking about the group dynamics and the team building. Then unit 9 is your conflict and the negotiation strategies and job stress. The group dynamics and the team building, there are introduction, then concept of the nature of the group, stages, various stages of the group development, determinants of the group products, and the nature of the and type of the teams, effective team building, problems affecting the teamwork, and attitudes that we have to discuss. So there are various definitions of the group that can be stated as below. There are group, basically what the definition of the group. According to Around that is 2005, page number 473. A group is made up of persons more than two, which is a then, and who communicate regularly, share goals, and interact with each other over time. So building out the effective bonds. So it is a clear now group is nothing to sit somewhere, sit in the somewhere and communicate. Basically, to communicate the regularly, and what about the objectives? What are the goal set it? What culture that has to be shared by the others and interact and building up some of the effective bonds. So groups are of extreme importance in an organizational setup, mainly because the larger goal of the organizations. So group uh, objectives are important because it is leading to the your larger goals of the organization, which are already set by the management. Stages of the group development. So how to develop the group development and what are the stages? So any group, whether formal or informal, will go through stages of the group development. So there are 5 stages that the model is there by the Bruce Trackman will be discussed. Now, the 5 stages that have been stated by his model are as follows. So there are 5 stages. One is the forming. So initially, so this is the initial or the forming stage. What are the tasks that oriented behavior focus on the members? Efforts to define and some agreement among the members to be done. Then, when the formation part is over, basically they have to mutually discuss what are the job to be done and some sort of agreement they are some sort of agreement willingness they have shown within the members. Then after that, the storming. Then storming part is very important because there are some it's a serious stages because conflict will start. So people are not made liking their stars or something or desiredness. Lot of things are coming. So among the members, some lot of conflict will start. May indulge in their power struggles between them. So some sort of that it is factions get established. So some sort of conflict will it may or create. So that part also required for the development purposes until and unless then it should be stabilized when the storming stage almost in the end stage it will be stabilize the things. Then after the stabilization, then you can normalizing the things. Then you have to norming stage. During the stage, there is an increased clarity. Then more clarity will become what is the role and responsibility are to be agreed by the members. That has been listed. So task-oriented behaviors in the norming stage evolve into sharing of information. A sense of shared responsibility, then mind is allowing, okay, that is my duty, I have to do it. Some sort of mindset and agreement in the willingness and formation. This stage is basically the forming stage. Then performing. The stage is denoted by vision that is clear, that is there also clarity and a rigor to the purpose of the group and how to effectively and efficiently the group is able to perform starts. So performing stage are basically where everything are listed and effectively and efficiently part is also defined. Now, uh, last part of the finishing stage, the fifth stage, it is the adjoining. Adjoining, there is a fifth stage, last stage, the group development. This task is accomplished, the work has completed, and thus the group can now adjourn. They can complete these things and they can end these jobs, basically, they end and move on to the other tasks. And then after that, they can go for the different other tasks also. So there are development stages, the group development part. Now, the determinants of the group productivity. So, what are the determinant of the productivity that has to be seen? Group size, first of all, it should be defined. It should be denoted number of persons are to be in the particular group. Then compositions in the group. It maybe manager to subordinate some assistant manager or field engineer. So that group are to be prepared as a composition, the type of nature of employees and different level of employees are. So this is the next aspect of the can have impact on the group productivity. So then group norms. So this is yet another aspect that can have an impact on the group productivity, because norm has to be fixed. Particular in the norms, there are some criteria. You can see the criteria, some of the rules, some of the policies, where are to be there. Then group cohesiveness. This is another aspect that is significant in the context of group productivity. So cohesiveness is very much important. Then group leaderships. Besides the above factors, the group leaderships also play an important role in group productivity. So this is what are the determinants? These all are the determinant of the group. Various type of teams. Again, groups. It is the same thing. Now, various type of teams, that are work teams, then cross-functional teams, top management teams, process improvement teams, project teams, self-managed teams, virtual teams, and quality circles. So these are total team are made. This is a part of your group dynamics and the team building. So there, the different type of teams are there. Then effective team buildings. So team building in simple terms can be described as activities that mainly involve building and improving team performance. So effective team building is nothing basically to involve building and improving the team performance. For that, what is the requirement? Team size to be defined. Then your composition of team. Goals need to be specific and clear. Then team cohesiveness, management of diversity, promoting trust among the team members, leadership, training, and management of conflict. So all these things are part of parcels of your effective team buildings. So here actually the important part is your management of diversity, one of the area that is very important. Then your leadership, training, and management conflict. Last 4 5 items are very important in terms of your effective team building. So this is the area to be taken more attention is required. Problems affecting the team building. Now, what are the problems that also we should know? The team building in simple terms can be described as activities that mainly involve building and improving type performance. But challenges, what are the changes in the team compositions? So that is also affecting that. If the composition is not good, changes the things, then it may affect in the your teamwork also. So interpersonal relationship between the team members. Suppose they are conflict, they are not obeying each other, they are not love each other, no communications very much. So interpersonal relationship is also very important. It will affect your team member. Communication related issues. So again, same thing, because maybe the language barrier, maybe because of any reasons, some barrier is there. Communication is not communicated the proper way. That's also one of the issues. Social love is also important. Then you're ineffective because somebody are doing not in effective way the work, others are working correct way. So there are some of the it is also a part of the problems which is affecting the teamwork. Suppose there are 10 members in particular in the teamwork. If one person is not equally effective or not working correctly, so definitely it will affect the team also. Role ambiguity. Suppose what are the role has been assigned, role has is not properly distributed or not assigned the role accordingly. The responsibility is also not correctly. So some sort of, if ambiguity is there, then it is also in turn affecting the group in the teamwork also. So lack of trust between the members, they are not trusting each other. It's also dominating by one or more members. If somebody is dominating to others, so what are the other during the dominations? What happens? Some of the employees they cannot work, they cannot show their actual productivity. So that is also affecting the team building. Then lack of motivation and moral, because motivation is not there at all, and morally is not behaving the properly. So that is also affecting problems. Then disagreements among team members over the team activities and goals. So uh, as you see, there are all of the problems areas which are needed to be to sort it out before the team building, or even though after the team has formations and during the activities, it has been found some of the problems are going on. So immediately it has to be redressed. Some discussion is required further, and accordingly everybody has to set it accordingly. Reset is required. Resetting the things has to be required. So this is the problem affecting teamwork. Now, conflict and the negotiation strategies. This is one of the area very important for the in organizations and in the personal levels and everywhere. So introduction part is this: the defining the conflict type and the levels, sources of the conflict, effect of the conflict, then conflict process, conflict management, conflict prevention, negotiations, all the process of the negotiation part. Type of bargaining strategies, whether the strategy should be there, time of bargaining. Individual differences in negotiation effectiveness, then situational factor of negotiations, ethics and the negotiation. These all are part of the your unit 9, conflict and negotiation strategies. Third party negotiations, Gandhian approach, conflict, then your Gandhian approach to conflict resolutions and the integrations, avoiding the common mistakes in negotiations. So those all are as a part of your conflict and negotiation strategies. Some of the highlighting points are there. So first of all, we have to see the conflict. What is the conflict? The definition basically. The conflict is a natural disagreement among individuals or the groups that differ in attitudes, beliefs, values, or needs. So it has both positive and negative sides. So conflict sometimes required also, because if the conflict, then lot of outcomes, lot of alternatives, lot of ideas are coming up. So conflict sometimes it is appreciated some of the times, and some of the times conflict is it may not be required. Unnecessary, the conflict will create the unproductive things. So, conflicts can also arise due to competitions, differences in values, attitudes, experiences, goals. Because due to competition with other companies, some of the competitive companies they are advancing their what they have new technology they have adopted. So sometimes because of that, the conflict starts within the organizations. How to take these challenges? What changes are required to superiority to get the superiority in the market, or how to increase the market shares, so that things are changes because of this lot of changes are coming. So conflict are playing in this time. Differences in values. Suppose if the value system is not in a common area, differences, different views are there in the particular topics or particular situations. So conflict will create. So these views are about the conflict. There are so many views are there. Traditional view is there, and the behavioral views, and interactionist view. So there are three type of these categories here. So conflict within the individual, because the various level of conflict, where the conflict are playing, basically the type within the individual, conflict can be conflict between the individuals, maybe more than one person, conflict between an individual and a group, one person and within a group, they are fighting each other totally against a group. Conflict between groups within the organization, there may be two groups, there some sort of issues are there, they are conflicting each other. It may be conflict between the organizations, where different organizations are conflicting. So there are various levels and the types are the conflict. Then sources of the conflict, from where the how and why the conflict started. So that's why first of all we have to identify the sources, that are what are the problems basically, and the competition for the limited resources. That's because of this conflict starts. This is one of the source, competitions. Diversity of goals is also another area, because of the to meet the diversity of the company, you have to pass through a lot of stages. During that stages, chances of conflict will be there. Tax interdependence. So, what are the taxes there? Um, it may some of the area are dependent, some of the laborers are not capable, capacity is not there. There is not enough internal knowledge, and not enough knowledge for to do so. So that time the conflict will start. So three type of interdependencies can cause intergroup conflict. That is pooled, sequential, and reciprocals. Now I have to see the definition of the pool's interdependence. See, in one independent group performs the poorly, all other groups may suffer financially. So it has happened. Suppose some of the groups, with the organization there are defined groups. The particular one group they are performing very well, but another groups are not poorly performed. The performance is not good. So it is overall affecting the financial support systems. So this is one type of pooled interdependency things. Just for example, so for example, your T&D losses, where you see in the housing meter is there, and housing meter there are some calibrated, it's not calibrated properly. What are the consume energies are in the lagging factors. So maybe the consuming is more, but the reading is not coming properly, or maybe the meter is out of order, or maybe our meter is not working properly. So it is a loss of the electricity company. So at the time of billing, they are based on this faulty meter reading they are giving. So they cannot charge more from the customers. So who is losing it? The company is losing. Why? Why it is losing? The group of the team, those who are entering the meter reading, that group part, they are not rectified the meter things. It's wrong and faulty reading they are noted. So financially, what happened? The companies. So particular inaction and wrong work. I mean, they are not performing properly. In particular, this one group. Because of that, it will affect the total companies losing the financial they are losing. This is one of the example in TD, transmission and distribution losses. Because when the particular that team they are not properly record the meter readings. So if it is a idea is if it is a faulty meter or something negligencies, maybe they are not taking the reading also, an average they are giving in the readers. So again, that type of problems will create in the total groups. So that is a full interdependency example. Sources of conflict. Sequential interdependencies occurs when one group performance depends on and another group parallel works. So suppose one of the group work, they have finished their work. Before that, it is depends on the others. Some sort of your critical path methods, CPM type, where the one job is complete and then other job will start. So if the particular before the job is not completing successfully or with the accuracy, then definitely the next group performance will be affected. So that is a sequential interdependence. So every sequence, serial way, every work has to be performed correctly and in time. Then other group, those who are in the queue, they can also perform nicely. Another is reciprocal interdependence. Occurs when two or more groups are mutually interdependent in capabilities jobs. So there are also some of the problems there. So this is also a source of conflict, basically. Source of conflict. Differences in values and the perceptions. A lot of conflict is generated within organizations because various groups within organizations hold conflicting values and perceptions there. A management level conflict is well example because the union there are you see there are so many unions are there, trade unions are different political parties. So sometimes the actual reasons they are not highlighting, or maybe they are different opinions, different principles they are in working. So value system is totally different perceptions. So because of that, conflict will create within the company. So that's why the management and your labor relations, human relations are not good. Sometimes the conflict is coming. Industrial problems are there. So as you know, this is most of the cases in the factory level it has happened. Organizational ambiguities, that is sometimes the conflict it may emerge. Two organizational units compete over a new responsibility. So there are some ambiguities in there. Maybe the role wise, the leaderships, and maybe the work wise, task wise, some or salary wise, maybe the reward wise is different. So organization to organization, maybe they are in the same organization, but unit is different. There are two locations, there are two units, but their treatment, their responsibility are little different. So pay package are also maybe different. So that's why the conflict will start sometimes. So sources of conflict, another part of the intellectual changes. When you are doing these human psychological matters, the reactions, some resistance will come. So changes, another part is when the company are changeover, I mean the group acquisition part, the merger part. Both the company are merge each others. The your human manpower flow are within the both the companies, transferring in each others. So that is actually some group intergroup conflict will start because of this, and stress will come because they are fear will come. Oh, my company has merged with other companies, so their culture will have different type of culture. How I can do it? Maybe technological changes also there. New machineries are coming up. So to adaptation of the company, that machines to redo the work and learning, new learning maybe sometimes they create a problem for the seniors, those who are basically the 10, 20, 15 years already. Traditionally they have worked it on, then it will create a problem. So that is a change, basically the change management purposes. Nature of communication, one of the major facilities, fallacies basically is about the conflict in that poor communications, the cause of the conflict, because you cannot understand the things, or maybe you not communicated properly, which you really want to say. So some sort of miscommunications are there, or the convincing power is not there, language. So it will create some of the problems. So this is one of the sources of communication. Aggressive nature of people. Some people are very aggressive. They are always taking some security, ego. Some of the ego are there in their mind. So that is also a potential for the generating the conflicts within the organizations, and the personality characteristics based on this. So that account of individual differences. So effect of the conflict. As a result of the intergroup conflict, some changes that may occur within the group involved. That the group cohesiveness increases and the group becomes more closely united. Here, actually, what I want to say, because the topic is this effect of the conflict. You know, conflict. If the conflict is going on, so then other way, what the way to affect the beneficial, other way beneficial, because suppose uh, cohesiveness increases, suppose. So it will increase because when the C group are not closely knit, they are not the greater loyalty is not there. That means that is the area has to be improved. So then maybe then the next time the company will think about it, start thinking, okay, we have to improve, we have to increase our core business. This is the loopholes, this is the problem. So sometimes it is indicated, it is given alarms. Okay, you have to do this, otherwise your um, problem will be further. You have to time is take the restriction. Some of the prevention you have to take it, or some of the remedy is required. So that is the way you have to think about it. What we need to say. So cohesive group increases, cohesiveness increases. The group becomes task oriented. They will be more alert. No, okay, you have to do it. The climate change is also in the functions to task oriented and helps to deal with the external threat also. And then another part is their leadership becomes more direct. So leader will be more alert, and a group will be more task oriented, and the leader becomes more authoritative or authoritarians. So he will give more authorities. So organizational structure become more easy. So structural what the now you have to repair the things. Basically you are repairing. So okay, this is the things it cannot happen like this. So sometimes the conflict and the problems coming the problems it sometimes it's alignment. I mean some sort of your lessons. You should give us some lessons. So you have to do it. Organizational structure becomes rigid authority and relationships among and between members becomes more clarity, more clearly defined. There will be more cohesiveness is increased. They can trust each other. So group unity will be, is stressed. So group demands increasing quality and conformity from the members. So these all are positive directions. The everything will be in positive directions. So it is the effect of the conflict, not just after the conflict. This is the effect uh, to positivity to how to drive the company, and this is the area to be do it. It is indicated to do these things. Effect of prolonged group conflicts causes the following changes in the relationship between groups. Now, another thing is there. If the conflict is prolonged, long time the conflict is going on. So what will happen? Groups becomes antagonistic towards each other. The group will be not seen to another. There will be enemy. Now another aspect is here. So if it is prolonged, if the conflict is prolonged, before the slides we have discussed about the if the conflict has come and what are the immediate action has to be taken the area for the development purposes. Because that stage is not done after the conflict, whatever the outcomes are coming, what are the loopholes, what are the pitfalls, problems, challenges are coming, but it is not redressed. It is same it is. This is prolonged. Continuously it is going on. So then what will happen? The relationship between the groups will be a problem. There will be enemies each other. So each group sees that enemy. Perceptions are distorted. So perception will be distorted. Each group develops positive perceptions among the group, and the negative perceptions will start. Communication ceases. Communication ceases to exist. So when the conflict member of the group, they are as is, they are not listening to each others. They are their own way. They are doing these things. So interaction will almost to stop aggressions between each others. Then group apply and the double standards. So each group clearly see all the your various act are remaining the blind. That area they are not performing the well. So all are is a totally bad effect if the continue if we prolong the conflict. If the conflict is continuously going on, then the situation will be from the above two list of changes within the between the group and the conflicts. So you can spot a number of negative effects. Some potential benefits of intergroup conflicts is such as conflict clarities in the real issues, conflict increases the innovations, intergroup conflict, solidarities in the group, conflict serves as a charities, catharsis, conflict resolutions solidifies intergroup relationship. So it is all the effect of the conflict. Now we see the conflict resolutions. Here is there is some five stages conflict resolutions are given, and there is a you see the in the from the features what are they given. First the escalations, then your de-escalations, the resolutions, and then your routine group interactions, disagreement, and confrontation. Finally, so this is the way it has circulate order in a circulations one step by step. There are five. Basically, the five stages are given. So all the stages are interlinked to each other, and that is the sequence basically. Now, the dimension of the conflict handling intention Thomas framework is there. That is plus the competing, then your collaborating, then your compromising, accommodating, and avoiding. So this is all are your some sort of the framework is there conflict handling, how to handle the things. So first you have to see what the competing. The conflict is given as going on. So now the directions has to see now collaborating way they have to collaborate the things. Here the things are collaborating. So here collaborating both the different person, different color is there given. So one is the gray, one is the blue. You see they are competing. Means the conflict is going on, and now these are both are in a compromising stages. Now after that they have some sort of agreement they have given. This is the things, and finally collaborating. Another case they are avoiding each other. They are fighting, competing. If they are competing, then means they are fighting. Competition is going on. So then some solution, some compromising will come up, and they are collaborating. They can. Otherwise, you see, if they are inviting, and in this case, your prolonged conflict. The conflict part is over. Now they are enemy. Both are in opposite direction, 180-degree opposite. So then that case, that is different, but it is possible. Then they can accommodating the things, but they are not collaborating where they are going as per their own. Both are in parallel they are going on. So we have to avoid these things. We have to see this part. So first part is very important. So this is the way the framework is this. Now another conflict and the negotiation stages, strategies. That is the Parex framework is there. This framework processes your 8 styles of the conflict management based on two nodes, avoidance nodes and your approach nodes. So in this case, you see there is avoidance nodes, and this is your other side is the approach. So this is other way I can say this is all it is the positive part, and this is negative part. So this is the one of the mode as given and diagram wise. Then contingency framework we have to discuss something for conflict management process. 3 main stages: collaborations, bargaining, and power. So negotiation is the greatest weapon and used only when various processes have matured. Uh, it may not always be a desirable mode for resolving the conflict. However, it is a uh, constructive mode of conflict management. So negotiation is one of the very important things. It may not be arise because it should not be arise basically. So, but even though to sort out the things, you have to do it. You have to negotiate some of the things, some of the agreement, some of the depletion level where the area of the differences so that it should be reduced. So that is the idea. Simulating the conductive, productive conflict confrontation stages, problem solving, and organizational redesign. So these are all other stages. Then coming to simulating the productive conflict, the following may be taken as sign where the conflict simulation is needed. The organization is full of yes man, lot of people are working there and everybody are good. That sense, employees are afraid to admit the ignorance. Sometimes the what are the ignorance they are not admit immediately. Compromise in stress is decision making during the decision making process. Not easily they are compromising each other. Some stress is there. Managers put much emphasis on the harmony and peace because always the managers are trying to put harmony. People are afraid for hurting the feelings of others. Sometimes they are not hurting. Then popularity is given more importance than technical competence. It is harmful. Basically, it is harmful because you know that this is a wrong thing. That files some sort of wrong things are there. The tax is not performed. The accuracy is not there. Even though, so that you are not going for any argument because you are afraid some conflict will start. So better to avoid these things. The avoidance part is very very dangerous because if you are avoiding the things, it long run it is created more problems. So that is the ethics. People show great resistance to change because when the change is coming, anything transfer or something cultural changes or posting, that time resistance will come. They are not think about it. The organizational point of view, organization's requirement. They are thinking, start thinking. They are in personal way. So that resistance will come. New ideas are not forthcoming. If the conflict is prolonged, is continuously going on, so new idea will not come because the communication has stopped. There is no conflict, so idea will not be generated. So there is an unusual low rate of employee turnover. So is a chance of your low rating the employee. Some of the people will be attrition will be more. People cannot stay. The good people cannot stay there. They have to change their job. So there are a lot of unusually the problem will start. Conflict confrontation strategies. Here, some problem solving. The problem solving as an attempt to find a solution that reconciles of the integrated conflict needed and the problem and to identify the mutual satisfactory solutions. In problem solving, there is a open expression of the feelings as well as the exchange of task-related information. Organizational redesign. The redesigning of and restructuring of the organizations can be an effective intergroup conflict resolution strategy because if we want to reduce the intergroup conflicts, so we have to go for new structural changes, organizational, you have to change it. So this is especially true when the source of conflict result from the coordinations of work among different department or decisions. So this is a part of your strategies. Negotiations. The process of the reaching of a mutual agreement by the two or more parties is called the negotiations. So when you are sitting together, There are two parties, then they have to negotiate. So all negotiations share the same four following common elements. The parties involved are in some way interdependent. Then the parties are in conflicts over the goals and processes. The parties involved are motivated and capable of functioning, uh, influencing one another. The parties believe they can reach an agreement. So this is a process. You have to go. The process has to be uh, passed on in this way. The process of the reaching at a mutual agreement by the two or more parties is called the negotiations. And another part, the Lux and DA, and there are so many philosophers, uh, the, the surveyed, and they have after the research paper is saying the manager as negotiator developed a thought that these four elements came into picture at a four different stages of the negotiations process presented below the next slide. So in the next slide we can see how it is presented. You see, the first phase is investigation of the preparations. First, you have to investigate the things. Then the second phase is the preparations. What are the there is some sort of your report, you can say it. Then after that, third stage is the bargaining. Then after the based on this, what are the differences that other things are has to be bargained. And finally, some agreement will come. Because from here, some of the things are agreeable, some of the things are not agreeable. So finally, you have to some sort of agreement. Then your conflict negotiations strategies problems, type of the bargaining strategies. So distributed bargaining, um, and this the basic features of the distributed bargaining is that the operators under the zero sum conditions, because exactly zero cannot be achieved, but it is we are saying it is a bargaining zone. So it is a sum of the bargaining zone, it is a party A and party B. There are both the parties. He has a sum of the demands, he has also some of the demands. So it is a counter discussion. After that, finally we are achieved. This is the settlement range, because lot of things are goes down, reducing. It is also possible reducing. Finally, both the parties are slowly coming up, because earlier the party A was here and party B was here. Now slowly they are coming one step. He is also coming one step. Then again he is coming one step. He is also coming step. So by the negotiation, by the discussion, only it is coming slowly now. Earlier their decisions were like this. For example, I mean in the volume of in terms of his demand, in volume in terms of his demands. Now some of the demands he has cut down, and finally he is coming here and finally here. So this is the range, the settlement range. Somewhere finally it will be fine tuned. So we can say that struck now the bargaining zone. So this is the area we can. This is the way distributive bargaining strategy. So now the coming some of the the gender differences in the negotiations. So there is a constructing study of the gender differences in negotiations. A popular belief is that women are more cooperative and pleasant in the negotiation than men. Men cannot be some maybe some chances of aggressions will be there, but in the woman he can nicely manage the things politely, and that softly he can manage the things. He can convince both the parties, and so that's why it has been observed that women can be good negotiators. So cultural negotiation with the emergence of the globalizations, cross-cultural negotiations find its the place. Negotiation is a summation of exchange, interaction, and the communication. Culture's impact on the process of this significant, and your cultures do these things, and through the preparations, clearly presentations, better bargaining, and more effective agreement. So cultural recognitions are most of the multinational movements are going on because of the preparations. It is required things. Third party negotiations are also important, because where the some mediator is required who can deal the as third party, he can do it. If the within the organization is not possible, then you have to go for some arbitrations. Arbitrator will be there, and mediator will be there. They can start their negotiation part, and they are all are expert in this field, and they how to negotiate the things. They are all are things how to tell you the labor management negotiations, civil court disputes. So that time mediator is required. Is the third person associated with any of the concerned parties who facilitates the negotiation using his ability to persuasions, suggestions. He can give some suggestions, some resolutions, some reasons why it has happened. You can suggest some of the alternatives to do it. It may be effective. So that is the way the mediator can do some extent. And basic difference between the mediator, actually he cannot take the mediator cannot be taken decisions. So this is the third from the associated with any of the concerned parties who facilitates negotiation using ability to pursue suggestions. It's just carefully persuasion, suggestions, reasoning, suggesting the alternative, etc. Mediators are mostly used in labor management negotiations and in civil court disputes. But arbitrator is completely different. Arbitrator is a third party possessing authority to dictate an agreement. So there are mainly two types of arbitrators: voluntary arbitrators and are requested by the parties and compulsory arbitrators. So enforced by the law of the tribunals. And the effective and the suggested rate of arbitrators is comparatively higher than the current because they are charged more. Arbitrator will taking charge more comparatively. So and finally, and the arbitrators basically are achieve their final some settlement. They have to give you some settlement. But in case of arbitrator, they are not come with some settlement. In the case of arbitrator, some settlement will come. It may be in terms of money, in terms of some of the rules and regulations. So some of the approaches are there because you see the first norms related to goal and conflict, calm and quiet. The second level of the norms related to conflict, the struggle and process. Third level are related to conflict and resolution. So there are three per level are there as per our Indian traditional wisdoms. So it's given. So related to goals and the conflict, related to conflict struggles and your resolutions. So letting your ego first things, ego should not be there. Um, this is the way expectations are being should not be more. So getting over it's a lot of common mistakes are in there because that we are trying to avoid all these things during the negotiation part. Because if we have a ego, then it cannot come out in a final results. So this is a part of the area where the negotiation during the negotiations we have to take care. So emotional not be because otherwise it will be biased. So there should not be any biasing factors should be avoided. Past negative word count, about it's not any it will be affecting the present ones also. So now this is the way now we can finish the particular blocks to over there and then finally unit 8, 9 completed. So in the next class we have to go for unit 10. This is a job stage, also another important area. And then after that we have to emerging the trends, you have to see it unit 11, 12 and 4. And finally, so another 2 classes will be there. So next class we will be try to finish it up your job stress and employee empowerment and organizational citizenship. These all of the areas we have to finish it up. That is the way. So today actually just we cover up the motivation. We have seen the type of motivations and what are the how to effect of the and post effect and after effect also. Then group dynamics we have discussed, team building, conflict in a very different way. We have seen a lot of conflicts are there, and the negotiation strategies. Then this is a conflict. So all the areas are very important from the organizational point of view. So like this. So I think, okay, I think now this the block is going on. Almost we have finished up the third block. The fourth block we have to start these things. So, okay, I think now today's session is over now. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.